What it do, BAES today, and I'm back at it with another freaking video.
Persian eyes, but she's from Nicaragua. Thought she was Persian love.
Before we get started with today's video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and to my buttons and post notifications on so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Also, make sure to follow my social medias and my link tree. They'll all be in the description. Make sure to follow my social medias and my link tree. They will be on the screen right here as well as in the description box below. Today's video is going to be all about my car. As you guys know, I love my car. If you know anything about me, you know that my car is my baby. So with that being said, let's just get on with the video. So I'm going to kind of go over like questions first, and then I'm going to go into more in depth of like what happened to my car, the accessories I have on my car, future plans for my car, all of that good stuff. So the first question, I guess you could say, is what kind of car do you have? I have a 2018 Kia Soul Plus. I know that there is a whole hate group about Kia Souls and how much people hate Kia Souls, but to be honest, I'm short, so that was like my best option. And I love the spaciousness of my car and how little and cute it is. So if you want to hate my car, you can hate my car, but I love her. What made you pick a Kia Soul? So like I just said, I'm pretty sure actually when I went to go look at cars, when I had first started looking into cars, I hated Kia Souls. Actually, I hated them so much. I wanted a Scion XB or a Scion TC, but which are two totally completely different cars, but I couldn't get a TC because the insurance on a female with a sports car was just outrageous. And then the SB, I just didn't like the back of it. I liked the front look, but I didn't like the back and how long it was. So I got the Kia Soul because it was really spacious in the inside. It was like perfect sizing for me. Like I could see over the front. It had like a pump-up seat, and even in my brother's car he has a pump-up seat, but he has an Optima and it just doesn't go up high enough for me to see over. For my first car, I wanted to be able to see and be as safe as possible. So because of my size and how short I am and how little I am as a person, I just picked a Kia Soul. Not only are they little, but they're very spacious too, so that's why I picked a Kia Soul. I do have shadow matte black rims on my Kia. I wanted black rims on her. They actually, when I first got her, she had the regular factory rims, like the silver ones or whatever, but I didn't like them. And then I had been saying that I wanted to get black rims, but then I was driving home one day and there was something in the road, and then there was a car next to me, a car in front of me, and a car behind me, and I couldn't miss it because it was like dead in the road, and it, I guess, hit underneath my car when I stopped at the red light and then started going. It literally sounded like I was driving on straight rim. It had actually hit the inside underneath part of my rim. So like this is your like outside part of your rim. It hit this part of the rim and bent it outwards. So there was no way of fixing it, because if I would have gotten just that rim fixed, it would have been $250, and I paid $500, I think it was, for all 4 of my rims. So I just decided to get new rims instead of paying the $250 for the one rim to get it fixed. So that was the whole thing with my rims. So that's why I got the rims. And sorry if you hear my dog in the background, but I do love my rims so much because they're matte black. I have scraped them like a few times. I had actually got a cavity filled and went to back out, and I was parked next to a curb, and because I had been on Laffy gas because of that, I was still like low-key out of it, but like I was able to drive, but I hit the curb on accident. So it scraped it, which I'm still mad about, but it is what it is. I mean, things are gonna happen to your car whether you mean for it to happen or not. So I mean, it is what it is, and I can just cover it up with black paint and make it less noticeable than it is with just the silver showing through. But yeah. What is the color of your Kia Soul? I have a titanium gray Kia Soul, so in some light it looks gray, some light it looks army greenish, Why did you name your car Koda Cash? So if you didn't know, my car's name is Koda Cash, Kodaka money sign H. I named my car Koda Cash because I was gonna name her Koda or Cash, but then I put it together and made it one name because Koda and Cash, they were both super short names. So I just put them together, Koda Cash. That's just the name of my car. I love it. What happened to your LED headlights? Okay, so basically what happened was, okay, so I went out. This actually is like a whole story time that led up to my LED lights being broken, which I had gotten pulled over for my LED headlights anyway, so that's a whole different story. If you want to know how I got pulled over and stuff, then leave it in the comments below and I will make that a whole story time. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but still, I did get pulled over for the first time. What happened to my LED headlights? Okay, so backtrack before I even answer that question. There was a question that said, what happened to your car? Because I had posted a while back that I wasn't in my car for 6 weeks. So basically, I wanted to go to PetSmart because I needed stuff for my guinea pigs at the time. So I went out to start my car, and my brother and my dad were at his apartment, I'm pretty sure, doing something. So I went out to start my car and it made a super loud roaring sound, and I was actually gonna vlog this day, so I have it on video, thankfully. But it made this super loud roaring sound. If I can find the video, I will insert it. Called dad, told him, called mom, told her. They basically told me not to drive it, but then my dad was like, well, turn it off, turn it back on. If it doesn't do it again, you're good. It did it a little bit, but not as loud. So I was thinking, okay, well, there's no way I could not make it to PetSmart and back. Like, PetSmart isn't that far. I mean, it's like 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes max, but still, like, I went the main road. I didn't go the interstate or anything. So I went to drive, and halfway to PetSmart, my gas pedal stopped working. Okay, so the speed limit on the road that I was going on was 45, and I was going 35 because my gas pedal stopped working. So it took me 5 minutes to get all the way up to 45 to do the speed limit. So then when I get to PetSmart, my transmission light came on and my oil light came on. And I knew that it wasn't out of oil, but you never know with cars. So I went in, came back out, my transmission light was still on, but my oil light wasn't on anymore. So then I had to drive all the way home with my caution lights on because I couldn't hit the speed limit. And then when I got home, I went to press the gas to get behind my dad's truck because there's like a little bit of a hump to get on my driveway. And when I pressed the gas, my car started rolling backwards and then completely died. Completely. So then I turned it off, turned it back on to get it out of the road because I was in the middle of the freaking road at this point, or like my subdivision part, whatever. And basically my oil light came back on and my transmission light was still on. So then my dad got home and looked at it, and we went and got oil. It only held 3 things of oil. Normally it would hold 5, so it still had some oil in it. So it wasn't the oil, maybe it was either something was blown or my engine blew. So there was like 2 options, but I forgot what other thing they said it could have been. So then we called around, whatever. So we couldn't make an appointment at the Kia dealership, so we just had to take it up there, and then they would call us when they looked at it, and so on and so forth. So then we took it up there. A few days later, they called us and told me that my engine had blew up. Basically, my car's engine had a defect, and last January, I think it was. Last January, so a year from this January. So last January, I had a recall done on it, on the engine, and they like did something to it because it had a defect. But if I wouldn't have gotten that recall done on it, I would have paid the money out of pocket for my new engine. But because I got the recall done on it, my engine was free because of the recall. So basically my engine blew up. Thankfully we had an extra car for me to drive. It was the worst experience ever because I hated driving the Envoy. That's what I had to drive. If you don't know what an Envoy is, I'll have it on the screen. But I had to drive that for 6 weeks and it was freaking terrible. Yeah, so they looked at my car, they called us, told us what it was, and they ended up ordering it, blah blah blah. And then I think it was like 5 weeks later. Yeah, I think it was like 5 weeks later. I called them while I was at work because I was getting like... Okay, so like I was saying, 5 weeks later I called them while I was at work because I was getting antsy and really wanted my car back and wanted to know if it was done or not. called them to expect being told that it wasn't done, but then she was like, oh yeah, it's done, you can come pick it up. Okay, so fun fact, if you did not go watch my biopsy video, it will be right here, but I called them on a Tuesday, and then the Wednesday after I called them, so like the next day, I had a biopsy on my fibrocystic adenoma, which like I said, that video will be right here, but I had that biopsy done. So then when I picked up the car after my biopsy, I had to drive it home, and when I went to start it at the dealership, it didn't start. And keep in mind, I had like a new battery in it too, because a few months prior to this happening, my battery had died completely, and it's a jail battery, so it's more expensive. So I had basically a brand new battery in it, and I guess they killed my battery, y'all, because when they said my battery was dead, they tried to jump it, it worked, blah blah, and then I got literally to the red light, like not even 5 miles from my house, and my car turned off. Wouldn't start at all, like none of my lights would come on, nothing. So basically it was dead. And I had this guy come up next to me, and he was like, you need help? And like, I'm very skeptical of people, stuff like that. So I was like, no, I'm good. And then another guy came up and was like, hey, like, do you need help? And then I was on the phone with mom, and she was like, just do it. If he doesn't seem like a weird person, just have someone there, you know what I'm saying? He didn't seem weird. He didn't seem weird at all. I didn't get weird vibes from him or nothing. So he stopped, and he was like an older man. And then after the older man stopped, a younger man stopped too, and they didn't know each other at all, but they both stopped and were trying to get it to work and everything. And then my parents pulled up, and when my dad popped the hood to change or get the battery out so he could take it back to where we got it from and all that good stuff, he broke my LED headlights. So now he's gonna have to rewire them, or my uncle's gonna have to rewire them, one of the two. But that's why my LED headlights are broken, and that's what happened to my car. So that is basically what happened to my car with what happened to like the engine and the LED headlights. We're gonna move on to the things that I have on my car. So I do have the LED headlights, like I said.
You can get a bigger Chanel back in the store if you want it. I gave them the drill, they said it up, I got them on it. I bought a new Patek, I had to watch, so I two-toned them. Taking these drugs, I'm gonna be up until the morning. That ain't your car, you just a list, so you don't own it. If I'm in the club, I got that 5 when I'm performing. The back end just came in and all corners. Vibes galore, cute shit, they all on us. I'm from Atlanta.
I have a back spoiler that matches the same color as my car. In fact, I had asked for one for Christmas. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that. Mom and dad actually got the last one in the United States in my car's color, so that's really cool. I do want a front lip spoiler, and I do want to get my underglow and darker tint on at least the front windows, if not both the front and back windows. In the far future, I do want to wrap her different color or like a different style or something. I don't know yet. I have like some ideas, but I'm not completely sure. And then I do have like the front JDM styled hearts on the front of my car. And then I have Coda Cash on the front windshield. And then Louis Vuitton sticker on like the back little triangle windshield. But that's basically my car and all about my car and what happened to her and everything. I'm sorry if this video was kind of everywhere. If you hate my car, you hate my car. If you like my car, you like my car. You know what I'm saying? But just don't throw hate randomly at me for having a Kia Soul. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, make sure to comment, subscribe, and hit my button to post notifications on so you can get notified every time I post a new video. And also make sure to follow my social media. That'll be right here on the screen, as well as in the description box below, as well as my link tree. Also make sure to go follow my clothing brand's Instagram at UrbanAngelsNCO, and go support my clothing brand at UrbanAngelsNCO.com. And I will see you guys in my next break.